What is up, my butter biscuits? Y'all, welcome back to the third episode of the. I can't believe that things happen so fast. And I'm like, already, this is the third episode that fast, which means next week will already be 1 month that I'm going to do this. I was actually going to skip on today's episode of the Sip and Spill. By the way, if you guys are new here, this is what I do every Sunday. This is going to be like my recap episode. That's kind of like a mini podcast, just basically talking about what happened during the week. I feel like these are more type of topics that I wouldn't make like a full video on. So I'm going to throw it all into one video and just ramble. You know what I mean? But I can't believe that it's already going to be 4 weeks. I actually wasn't going to do today's video because y'all, I have a very, very, very busy week. As you guys know, I'm running. I don't understand how people can do this, to be quite honest with you. I want to like commit to making my weekly episode, as you guys know, every single Sunday. But then also I'm trying to work on another podcast with my friend, which I want to do on like every Wednesday, but it's really hard to make all these commitments. And then on top of that too, I have my second channel, which y'all, I put so much work into those videos. And I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. Sometimes I wonder like, why do I even put that much work into it? Because y'all, when I tell you I take like 40 hours editing each single video, like I'm not exaggerating when I say that, and I literally make $117 a month from that channel. A month. So I'm kind of like, oh, why do I put that much work into it? But on top of that too, I'm just like, oh, I really, really love it. Like, I feel like, say for example, when I go on a little trip or something, I have a vision in mind of how I want the video to be. So therefore that just takes a lot of editing. It takes a lot of graphics. It takes a lot of, you know, just throwing together your vision onto Final Cut Pro. And it takes a lot of work to do that. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't put so much time into that because I really do work on those too much. And honestly, like the views are just not there, but it's kind of like my hobby. So I'm like, I don't know, balancing everything is really difficult. So I was going to skip today's episode because I put a lot of work into a video yet again. And on top of that too, if you, oh, Jesus, excuse me. I don't know what just happened to my throat right now. Oh my gosh, y'all. That was like really weird. I was like, where did that come from? Anyways, I don't know if you guys have seen in my previous videos, I am currently going to school for microblading. Actually, I already did my blood pathogen test. I just need to get my body art practitioner's license, which is coming up pretty soon. And then I'll be done with it next week, which I'm going to be super, super excited for. I will be promoting it, just letting you guys know that if you guys are in the Los Angeles area, I will be like kind of like freelancing for microblading, which I am like really excited for. I feel like that's like my whole new like thing. I'm super obsessed with it, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm just like ready to get to work on that. So I do have a lot on my plate. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna skip today's episode. But I was thinking like, oh my gosh, it would be really fun to react to all the celebrities' costumes, because I did see so many. And on top of that too, I just feel like every single year with Halloween, there's always some type of controversy. There's some type of drama. People are complaining about this or complaining about that. I'm gonna let you guys know. Obviously, we're gonna talk about that at the end of this video. I'm gonna let you guys know right off the jump. You guys can cancel me, unsubscribe from me, all that, because I'm just one of those people, y'all. I grew up in the 90s, and I'm like, everything is just like, everything wasn't offensive back then. Do you know what I mean? Like, I grew up in an era where there obviously was no social media. There really wasn't even internet. And I feel like every single kid would dress up as, you know, like an Indian, or dress up like a Mexican, or dress up whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like this day and age, it's like, oh my gosh, y'all, like everybody is just so extremely sensitive. And then on top of that too, what I see online is, say for example, if 98% of the population is not sensitive, the 2% speak louder than the 98%. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So to be quite honest with you guys, like I'm just being straight up. I'm ready to get canceled. I'm ready for you guys to unsubscribe from me if you guys don't like what I have to say, because I'm really just over it. Like everything that I see online, I'm like, what's happening in the world, and why are everybody's getting so offended by everything? I made this actual like TikTok, like a full, like, I don't know if it was like 4 or 5 minute little rant about it, talking about why I love dark humor, because dark humor has gotten me through everything in my life. Like literally every single thing that I'm going through, whether it be horrendous, like my dad, I even said within that TikTok, my dad got diagnosed with cancer, and what were we doing over here? We were cracking cancer jokes. Literally, we're like, oh well, at least you're already bald, you know what I mean? And I'm over here like, oh my gosh, so like, wait, am I on your life insurance policy? Am I gonna get a check from this? You know what I mean? We make jokes about it, and people don't understand. Oh my god, why would you make a joke about that? It's like, what am I gonna do, sit here and be miserable, or am I gonna laugh about it? I genuinely feel if you can find laughter in a dark situation, you're gonna come out on top of it. It's gonna become a more positive situation to you. And I feel like this day and age, that's just gone, like completely gone. And I think that that sucks, because for example, like me, obviously, this is why I really don't open up about my personal life on social media. I pretty much just keep it like, okay, make my little joke videos, and then I keep my like drama videos. And that's really just it, because obviously if I open up about my personal life, I know that people are going to be, oh my God, that is just so offensive. You're such a horrible person. And it's like, what? Like if I'm cracking a joke like about my family and like what we're comfortable with, that's just it. Do you know what I mean? But everybody's obviously so soft on the internet, and they don't understand a person who likes dark humor. I think that it sucks, honestly. And I said within my TikTok before too, I'm like, it's so crazy, because I genuinely feel, and I will forever be this way, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm 33 years old, and I feel like I have gotten through life just fine. I'm not going to change the way that I am, because I genuinely feel when you are able to bring light out of a dark situation, it makes it so much more easy, honestly. And people just don't understand that. This day and age, everyone's just very bent out of shape over the littlest of things. And I'm like, there is bigger fish to fry in the world than to worry about what a costume a celebrity is wearing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but if that's your biggest concern in life, then you don't have a life. Like, I'm just like, okay, come on, let's get it together here. Do you know what I mean? I said this before too in a video. I was like, you know what? If somebody dressed up as me for Halloween, and they wore a fat suit and they put on a bald cap and they like put a hairy back on there, I would think that it's low-key hilarious. I would like it. I would be like, oh my God, I'm kind of flattered. Do you know what I mean? But obviously this day and age, people would be like, oh my gosh, that's so offensive of you. How could you put on a fat suit to dress up as somebody? And I'm over here like, oh my God, that would be like the coolest thing in the world. But obviously everybody is different. So I thought today would be really fun to react to costumes. I literally went off on a tangent there. By the way, I know this is called the Sip and Spill, as you guys know. Obviously, the whole reason why I did this is because I really loved going live. I would go live for hours. Y'all, do you guys know that one time I went live for 8 hours? It was like 8 hours and like 7 minutes to be exact. I was like, oh my God. Like, I literally did a whole shift on live, and I was just kicking back, having drinks, and talking with you guys on chat. So that's kind of what I wanted to do for this style of video. And I was like, oh, okay, I would have some drinks then. So I was like, let me have some drinks here on camera. But y'all, today I got me a bottle of water. We're going to skip on the drink today because I have so much to do. On top of that too, I'm not pre-gaming right now. As I let you guys know, before the past couple weeks, it was a Saturday, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a couple drinks before going out with my homegirls. Y'all, I went out last night, and let me tell you, woo, Jesus Christ, I cannot hang anymore. So I'm trying to get back on my diet. As you guys know, or if you didn't know, recently I had lost, what was it, 60, I want to say 67 pounds. And y'all, over the past 3 months, I gained 25 pounds back already. And I'm like, okay, I need to like stop, because honestly, drinking has never really affected me and like losing weight. I've always been able to have my weekend drinks and still lose weight. The problem is when I'm in a funk, I'll eat so much. Like, honestly, y'all, last week, y'all, I feel embarrassed to share this with you guys, but straight up, just keeping it real. Last week, I had Taco Bell 4 times. 4 times in 1 week. And y'all, I just have to say this, like, I'm a really big guy, so I'd be ordering 5 things. And on top of that, too, they have nacho fries now in a large form. So yes, I was ordering large nacho fries every single time. And I'm like, they need to get rid of those nacho fries because I feel like they're highly addicting. And I just need to stop with them because I love them so much. They're like literally my favorite fast food item. I love nacho fries. Anyways, I'm thinking about them right now and I'm like, oh, I'm low-key hungry, y'all. Anyways, there is a couple things that I did want to talk about before jumping into the actual Halloween costumes. But I did want to talk about, like, y'all. Okay, one thing. Okay, I want to talk about this because I don't know what to do with this situation. As I was mentioning earlier, like doing a podcast with my friend, I don't know to bring her onto this and be like a weekly type of thing, or if I should do something separate. Because I kind of wanted this style, obviously, to talk about what happened in pop culture, what happened on the internet, what happened, you know, basically like TMZ status, right, for this style of video. But then I was thinking with my friend, we have so many life stories to tell. We have so many like bad ex stories to tell. We just have so many crazy stories to tell. So that's what I kind of wanted that podcast to be. So I do need your guys' help. Like, would you guys prefer if I were to just bring her onto this podcast and kind of mix in a little bit of lifestyle into this? Or do you guys want this specifically to be about the drama and what happened in pop culture during the week? We'll do giving a little bit of an update about my life, obviously. Let me know down below what you guys want. Also, you know what's really funny? I just opened up my phone right now and I saw these pictures from last night. She would literally kill me if I showed you guys these pictures. But my friend was such a hot mess last night because, oh my gosh, I like how, y'all, this is why I say I got ADD, because I like how I was telling you guys I can't hang no more because I'm trying to get more healthy. So I switched back to drinking vodka and I was like, that's not the one, y'all. Like, oh my gosh, we ended up a little bit like too tipsy last night. We were like, what's going on here? We're so used to drinking our Happy Dads and we're like, oh, the sugar-free vodka is only 67 calories a shot. So let's just go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? And let me tell you, that was not the way to go, y'all. Jelly, if you're listening to this, I love you, girl. I know you can tell this story on your own when you get onto the podcast, but she literally was backing it up at the club. Like we had like a bottle service table and y'all, she was backing it up on these girls that she did not even know they were friends of a friend, and she literally unbuttoned her pants. I want to share the video so bad. She literally unbuttoned her pants and literally like had her whole thong out and she was like twerking and stuff. And I showed her the video because I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like take a video, you know? So I show her in the morning and she was freaking out. She's like, why would I do that? Why would I do? I was like, I don't know, girl. I told you not to be having them shots. I told you. Anyway, sorry, completely off topic there. I just opened up my phone and saw these videos from last night. I'm like, Woo. Anyways, one thing that I did want to talk about too before jumping into the topics is, did you guys see? I thought this was just so ironic because if you guys keep up on my regular channel, like on my regular videos, I mean, not regular channel, I recently had said, like, if you guys don't want any type of like rambles or tangents, like go watch a video like Spill Sesh, because she doesn't show who she is. She doesn't show her personality. She literally just talks about the topic and that's it. She's obviously not like a person who's showing her personality, who's obviously like engaging with her audience. She's just like a reporter is the way I viewed it. And it is so ironic that I said that, and I shit you not, it must have been what, 2 days later, 3 days later, she does a face reveal. I was like, okay, this is the most ironic thing that she does that. But I want to know what you guys think about that. If you guys did not know, Spill Session is, or Spill Sesh here, is basically like a drama channel, but y'all, she's really on top of it. Like, she is so quick with her stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, something happens and then she immediately has a video. I'm like, it's almost as if she has the insight on it, because I'm like, y'all, I'm like a day late, 2 days later with mine, sometimes even a week later, and she is on it, like immediately on it. But I do think it is cool that she did do a face reveal, but she did say that she is still going to do those style of videos as to where she kind of does like a voice over. My whole thing though, and I just didn't understand about this face reveal, and maybe I missed the part because honestly I was watching like Manny MUA do her makeup and whatnot, so maybe I did like zone out what she was saying. I missed the part as to why, if she did say, why she'd put a like voice like effect on her voice. Like, why would she change her voice this whole entire time? Obviously everyone thought it was Morgan Adams, because they're like, okay, this person has to be somebody, because why are you going to change your voice? Do you know what I mean? If you're obviously going to get online and let's just say, I don't want to use the word nobody, but if you're like, you know, a nobody, like an average Joe, why do you need to change your voice? That's what made things be a little bit sketchy as to when, like, okay, y'all, we're like all over here speculating, oh, it's probably this YouTuber or that YouTuber. It has to be somebody known, because why would you change your voice? Did she explain that in the video? I really don't remember, because I was like, why would you do that, girl? I didn't really understand. That's why everyone thought you were Morgan Adams. You know what I mean? But kudos to her for finally showing her face. I think it's about time. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the topics, y'all. This right here, okay, these are things that I have always said. That's why I'm like, I will never talk about politics on my channel. Y'all, I remember when things were getting super political in 2020, and I was like, I'm not going to comment on anything because I'm uneducated about everything. So I don't want to have to like make a comment or make a post about something just because somebody's trying to force me into it, and then I end up saying the wrong thing. That's why I just stay silent about these situations. I feel like a lot of celebrities get pressure to talk about politics and to talk about what's going on in the world. They're like, you need to use your platform. But at the end of the day, there's always two sides of it. Do you know what I mean? Say, for example, what's going on right now in Palestine versus Israel. It's kind of like, okay, if you say something that's siding with Israel, then that's against the Palestinians. If you say something that's siding with the Palestinians, that's against the Israelis. So it's like there's really no winning in this situation. It's kind of like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's why I feel like sometimes celebrities just don't need to get involved in politics. They don't need to make statements. They get like pressured into it and they get bullied into it. And it's like, just stay silent. Like, you don't have to say anything about it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's just going to cause more drama, in my personal opinion. So we're going to be talking about Selena Gomez just really briefly, because I do feel like this is one of those situations. It's a catch-22. Like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, should she say something? Should she not? I have always felt like I'm just not going to speak on politics, because specifically when it came down to this like Israel versus Palestine thing, I have to say I was out in Long Beach with my friend. This is maybe about 3 weeks ago now, I want to say it was. We were walking down the street and then they had missing posters for Israelis in Israel that were missing. They're not American. They were not American. It literally said in there that they live in Israel and they got kidnapped or whatever. And I'm like, what are we going to do about this in Long Beach? Like, I feel like this is propaganda. I feel like they're obviously putting these things out there to make us side with Israel, in my personal opinion. So I was like, this seems a little bit sketchy, in my personal opinion. That's why I don't comment on things, because I'm like, y'all, I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. All I know is what I see, and what I see is like, okay, this is a little bit fishy. Like, if you're putting up missing posters in Long Beach, what are we going to do about this? And I should have took a picture of this, to be honest with you guys, just to put it up on the screen, but I didn't. I don't know if you guys have seen them where you guys live. If you guys live in Long Beach, literally go down 2nd Street, like right in front of Legends Bar, there was, you know, a whole pole filled with Israeli missing people. And I'm like, this is just really weird to me. Like, it literally says in their hometown, and it has the hometown, the place in Israel, and then it says they were kidnapped from their home in Israel. It gives their whole little story, and I'm like, what are we going to do about this in Long Beach? Like, do you think that they're missing and they're going to come in Long Beach? I just really didn't understand that. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, y'all, getting off on a tangent there just because I want somebody to explain to me, like, what's the purpose of this? I don't kind of get it. You know what I mean? I feel like, okay, like, what can I do about it? And not to sound heartless, obviously, because if I could help or if I could keep an eye out, say, for example, like when I get an Amber Alert or a Silver Alert, like I genuinely am like, y'all, I'm keeping my eyes out. My friend just got her car stolen. I'm like, send me your license plate. I literally am driving around looking for her car. Like, I'm like, where's this Kia at? Y'all, by the way, if you guys drive Kias, keep them on lock because, oh my gosh, they are literally getting stolen everywhere. Even my aunt in Phoenix, her car got jacked too, or not her car, but her daughter's car got jacked too. So I'm like, and her mom's Kia got jacked too, both of them. And then now my friend Genevieve, her car just got jacked. I'm like, damn, y'all. So anyways, I do keep my eye out, but I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna go to Israel, so I don't know how I'm gonna help there. Anyways, I do want to talk about this right here, so that way you guys can educate me about this situation. And y'all, once again, I'm just letting it be known out there, and I talked about this, and I've talked like this on live before. If I do not know something and I am uneducated about it, I'm going to be the first person to tell you I am a high school dropout. I literally do not know about X, Y, and Z. This is why I don't comment on these types of things. Explain it to me kindly. Keep it cute. Like, honestly, if you guys start attacking me, like, that's why I'm just like, that's when I start getting over it. Like, when people literally start coming at me sideways, it's like, you don't need to speak to me like that. If I'm openly telling you that I'm uneducated, then you can educate me on the information that you know, if you know it all. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, this was Selena Gomez's post right here that she had initially posted and then she did delete it. She said, I've been taking a break from social media because my heart breaks to see all the horror, hate, violence, and terror that's going on in the world. People being tortured and killed or any act of hate towards any one group is horrific. We need to protect all people, especially children, and stop the violence for good. I'm sorry if my words will never be enough for everyone or a hashtag. I just can't stand by innocent people getting hurt. That's what makes me sick. I wish I could change the world, but a post won't. Love, Selena. I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked at that and I'm just kind of like, I don't really see a problem with that. Like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, yeah. I feel like she is obviously against just killing in general. She's not picking a side. She's not saying Israel's wrong. She's not saying Palestine's wrong or whatever. Do you know what I mean? She's literally just saying in general it needs to stop. I'm one of those people that I agree that same way too. I'm like, okay, I feel like Palestine needs their land and Israel should not take it over. Like, I feel like that's very greedy. Kind of like what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. Like, Russia trying to invade their land and take their land. Okay, don't take their land. But also on both ends, there should not be any type of war going on. This is just all out of greed, obviously. So I feel like she's just very mutual about it. But people don't really realize, too, when you're a celebrity, you're going to have Palestinian fans. You're going to also have Israeli fans. Do you know what I mean? So if you sit out there and you're like taking side against one or the other, you're going to offend somebody. That's why I say it's a catch-22, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's why I'm like, I didn't really see anything wrong with this. But then she ended up getting so much hate online for this. And I was like, and this is why I don't speak up about things, because I'm like, this is... You just can't win. Like, no matter what, you know what I mean? You can't win. There's going to be somebody on the opposing end that is going to disagree with you. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's better to just stay silent about things. Anyways, she is now getting hate once again, y'all, on Twitter. I want to say she was trending. I'm pretty sure. I think I saw this trending on Twitter because she did make a post saying that she was going to take a break from social media. This is what she said right here. I'm taking a break and deleting my Instagram. I'm done. I do not support any of what's going on. People online were saying, oh my gosh, like, she's victimizing herself. She's turning this into about her. I can understand where they're coming from, obviously, because it's like, once again, girl, just stay silent on it. You already deleted your post. Like, you know, leave it at that. You see, obviously, people are going to attack you regardless. I would have just left it at that. As soon as I saw that I was getting hate, like, just go ahead and drop it. You know what I mean? Because once again, you can't win. So it's like, just stay silent after that. But y'all, for her to go out of her way and post that, I could understand why people are saying, oh, she's like victimizing herself. But also, too, it's like, what do you do in this situation? Like, how do you know, deal with your own emotions of like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't see anything wrong with what I said, but everyone's attacking me online. And then to see how many people, there was actually one tweet specifically, I didn't take a screenshot of it, that they were calling Selena out, saying that she was victimizing herself. Like, how could she manage to victimize herself in a situation like this? And I want to say like 4.2 million people had seen it at the time of it being posted. So I was like, oh my gosh, a lot of people are obviously seeing this. And Selena is like one of the most followed people on Instagram and social media in general. So I do understand, you know, obviously how this is going to be a very captivating, controversial situation. But also too, at the same time, maybe just because I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe because I look at like celebrities as actual humans, do you know what I mean? Not as robots. They're not going to know what to say. They're not going to, like, you know what I mean? If they're managing their own account, it's kind of like, okay, how do they win? How do they know exactly the right things to say? Like, once again, I just feel like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But also, too, at the same time, the whole reason why I'm even talking about this within today's video is because I do want to know, in this specific situation, like, what would you have done differently? What should she have done differently from her original post that I did read out? what was so bad about that? Because I didn't feel like she was taking sides. I feel like she was just saying, and I think that maybe people wanted her to take a side. I think that's what it is. And I'm just kind of like, but once again, it's hard to do that when you're a celebrity. On top of that, too, a brand owner who is probably sold all around the world. As you guys know, Rare Beauty is like one of Sephora's top brands. So I'm like, how do you go about this? Do you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine doing that, to be honest with you guys. Anyways, I do kind of want to already go ahead and jump into the whole situation of the Halloween costumes. I just want to get it off the bat immediately to go ahead and talk about Khloe Kardashian. If you guys did not see, she dressed up as a Bratz doll. And I want to say sometimes, and I've said this before, I feel like TMZ, obviously I know what they're doing. I know they're in the, clicks for views or clicks for pay type of thing business. I totally get that. So when they make an obscene title and like do something, it's kind of like, oh, okay, like you're doing it for a reason. I understand that. But sometimes I feel like they're creating drama that doesn't need to be there. Like I did not see anybody on Twitter or social media complaining about Khloe Kardashian's outfit because they were accusing her of blackfishing. And I'm like, I did not see anything wrong with this. I really don't whatsoever. It's obviously kind of like a Bratz doll is supposed to be like, how do you say it? Like a overdrawn version of a human, really, really big eyes, really big lips. Do you know what I mean? You're obviously supposed to be that type of way. So this whole thing of like, oh, she's blackfishing, and they said that she changed her skin tone and stuff like this. And I'm like, it's so crazy because sometimes, y'all, I should find this picture, and like when I used to play baseball and I was out in the sun, I get extremely, extremely tan. And sometimes I think like people don't realize that our skin tones do naturally change. If you go out in the sun, or even if you take the certain type of vitamins, I forget what it's called, but a certain type of vitamin that, like, say for example, if you eat a whole bunch of like orange, what is it? I was gonna say retinoids. It's not called retinoids. It's called like I don't know. Y'all, recently I was looking into this, and basically if you take this vitamin, then you could like tan naturally. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like people blow things out of proportion. I didn't really see anything wrong with her costume. I don't know. I thought, if I'm being quite honest with you, the only thing that I saw wrong with her costume is I feel like it needed to be more drag. Do you know what I mean? I see a Bratz doll as drag. I feel like make them lips really, really big, paint down those eyes really big, get like Trixie Mattel with it. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like she missed the mark on that, but I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I look at these things and I'm like, I don't see what the problem is. And I'm not trying to like take away anybody's voice or anything like that. You are fully entitled to your opinion. If you feel like she is, blackfishing or whatnot, you're fully entitled to that opinion. But also at the same time, I'm entitled to mine, and I don't feel that she is. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, like, why is TMZ posting this and nobody was even making a comment about it? And honestly, if you go over to the TMZ post, you guys will see a lot of people were saying, "What? There's nothing wrong with this. Like, what's the problem with this?" You know what I mean? This is why I feel like sometimes, y'all, TMZ, it's like, oh, I get it. Like, you're trying to get your bag. You're obviously a corporation, and you got like so many employees, and you're creating jobs and whatnot. So I'm kind of like, I get it, but then I'm like, damn, you guys are causing a really big divide in the world because you're having people see these headlines and they don't even read the full story half the time. They'll see the headline and just run with it. And then you have these people out here who are like ready to go to bat and like fight with other people online. And it's like, oh my gosh, y'all, this is literally going to create a civil war at some point because people are going to have this big divide over dramatic titles like that, And I totally get the whole, clickbait thing. Obviously, as you guys know, here on social media, I do drama videos. Like, my whole thing, obviously, is to comment on things. And I do understand that you do have to make, like, a really dramatic thumbnail. You have to make a dramatic title to get people to click on your videos. But at the same time, too, like, you don't need to create something that's not there. Do you know what I mean? In my personal opinion. Anyways, I did want to talk about that first because I do feel like the Khloe Kardashian situation was probably the most controversial. There is another one that was controversial. I want to say was Megan Fox. She was dressed up as somebody from Kill Bill, I think it was. For the life of me, I could not figure out why that was controversial. I was like, what's going on here? And on top of that too, I didn't understand because I did see people in the TMZ comments talking about like, wait, okay, it's because of this or whatever. It has to do with the movie from Kill Bill. Apparently, she was a character from Kill Bill. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've never seen Kill Bill, so I don't know anything about it. But I know who, what's her name? Uma Thurman is in it, right? And I think that Machine Gun Kelly was supposed to be Uma Thurman, right? Like, wasn't that the whole thing? How come he wasn't getting hate for it? So that's where I was like, I'm so confused by these comments right here because people are saying, oh, it's because of the movie, like the movie's controversial or whatever. And then I'm like, but then why isn't Machine Gun Kelly getting hate for it? I'm not understanding this whatsoever because I'm like, if he's the actual main character, wouldn't he be the one? I don't know, y'all. I'm telling you, sometimes these things, I'm like, oh my gosh, who really cares? Like, life is so damn short. Like, I'm like, who cares? I'm just so over it. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the celebrity costumes right here after that little bit of drama, because I'm just like, I don't know. Is there anybody out there, like, keep it real with me, like, you guys can literally keep it real. Is there anyone out there that sometimes just looks at things on the internet and is just like, this is dumb. Like, this is really, really dumb. And like, such a waste of time, such a waste of energy. I'm like, y'all, I have to keep it real with you guys. This is why I did start doing videos on my channel, as to where like, I want to throw my 2 cents out on things, because I'm like, in the grand scheme of life, what does this matter? Like, what does this matter? We're all literally going to die. None of us are going to make it out alive. Hate to break it to you. So I'm like, why are we stressing about the small things? I don't know. Like, focus on other things, in my personal opinion. But I don't know. I have to be honest with you guys. I feel like I am just constantly losing the battle every single time that I'm just like, oh, who cares? People are like, oh my God, I care. Don't try to silence me. Don't try to take my voice. And I'm like, you're trying to silence my voice. Literally is what you're doing. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, can't win. Anyways, also, I have to say this was actually kind of cute. Okay. Is this like a hot take or something? I don't really know, but maybe because I'm a guy, why is it that girls always feel the need to like be all like cutesy? Do you know what I mean? I want to see like some really cool Halloween costumes, like Heidi Klum, y'all. You guys know Heidi Klum just goes balls to the wall with Halloween. I feel like she is literally the queen of Halloween. I do have some thoughts on her costume this year, but I feel like 9 times out of 10, oh my gosh, she kills it every single time. But every other girl has to look like cutesy. Let's go ahead and talk right here about Kim Kardashian. She did dress up like the characters from Clueless, and I have to be honest, I was like, this is boring. Like, it's cute. Don't get me wrong. It's cute. But then I don't know. I'm like, you're Kim Kardashian. Like, you have like unlimited access to the best makeup artists in the world. Like, you have all the resources and you could do like something totally amazing. And then to me, I just have to say, for Kim Kardashian being a billionaire, I don't know, this is a little lackluster. I do think it is cute, but I feel like this is something that, like, I don't know, us average Joes can do. Like, I feel like anybody, you know, watching this can do this, like, really cute and easy. And I do have to be honest, I do have a higher expectation of celebrities, because I'm like, you guys are celebrities. Like, come on, like, do something. If you're gonna dress up, if you're gonna participate in Halloween, like, come on, do it up a little bit. Anyways, moving on right here, we have The Rock, who is dressed up as David Beckham. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I saw this picture at first and I was like, I had no idea who he was trying to be. No idea at all. Oh, by the way, speaking of David Beckham, when I worked at Disneyland, y'all, I used to work on this like slushy car in DCA, California Adventure. That used to be by that like ride that like went up and down like Supreme Scream. And I actually served a little slushy to, oh my gosh, David Beckham, as well as Posh Spice. And y'all, I have to say, David Beckham was real. Posh Spice, honestly, she didn't really say anything like at all. She was just there. And honestly, she kind of has resting bitch face. I'm like, ooh, she looks a little mad. But David Beckham, y'all, he was super, super sweet. Oh my God, speaking of The Rock too, I used to work on a cappuccino car actually too in Disney California Adventure, and I did serve The Rock too, and y'all, he had a group of people with him. He paid for everything. I mean, obviously, like, he's rich as hell, right? But I have to say, he was really cool too. David Beckham though was like super sweet. Like, he was like, how's your day going? Like, literally, I was like, oh, you're talking to me? I was like, my day's going great. You know what I mean? Oh, also, oh my gosh, what's talking about Disneyland, y'all, I served Vanessa Bryant before popcorn. Mind you, this was literally 17 years ago, okay? And honestly, I didn't know who she was at first, but there was somebody working on my cart who was like, oh my gosh, that's Vanessa Bryant, that's Vanessa Bryant. And I was like, who's Vanessa Bryant? And they're like, Kobe Bryant's wife. I was like, oh, did not know that. You know what I mean? Anyways, I served her popcorn. Y'all, back then, the popcorns were, I want to say, were $3.25. Or maybe they were even like $2.75. It was a long time ago. Anyways, y'all, she tried to offer me $20. $20. We couldn't accept tips working at Disneyland. And then she did have one of those like, I don't know. I don't know what they're called, but like the plaid members with them. So I was like, damn, I want to take this $20. I was only making $8 an hour back then. So I was like, ooh, $20. That's like over like 2 hours of work right there. But she was super sweet. Anyways, all three of them were really sweet, I have to say. David Beckham, though, I feel like was absolutely the nicest, which surprised me because, I don't know, I feel like he's just such a big celebrity. Anyways, moving on down the list right here, oh, we have to talk about Zayn. He dressed up as Voldemort. I have to say, this is what I expect out of celebrities. I feel like the makeup, whoever did the makeup on this did a great job. This looks really good, really realistic. The nose prosthetic is perfect. I really love this Voldemort. Also, too, I have to say, Zayn is like, y'all, I don't really have celebrity crushes, just keeping it real. Y'all know I love Bad Bunny, but like, looks-wise, I don't know. Every single time that I look at Bad Bunny, I'm like, oh, I like his swagger. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way he carries himself, I'm like, oh, I find that attractive. But him, looks-wise, I'm like, he's whatever. But then Zayn, oh my gosh, Zayn is, woof. Y'all, I would get with him even while he's dressed up as Voldemort, aka Jeffree Star. Not just like, I'm surprised that Jeffree Star wasn't like Voldemort, since everyone calls him that online. He should have been that. Anyways, that right there is super cool. I really do like that. Moving on, we have Rosalia dressed up as Bjork. I think this is really cute, you know? Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, looking at this picture, I don't know why for some reason it was giving me like Cardi B like face vibes, and I didn't even know that it was Rosalia at first. I was like, wait, that's Rosalia? But I think that's cute. I just, you know, I don't know. I feel like that's better than dressing up as Clueless. Like, I feel like the Clueless thing, I'm like, oh, you could just be that any day. Like, it could just blend in. At least this swan outfit right here from Bjork is low-key iconic. Like, I feel like when you look back on the fashion archives of, like, red carpet looks, that Bjork look right there is obviously going to stand out because it's so bizarre. But then I really do feel like Bjork is a bizarre person. You know what's really crazy? I know exactly who Bjork is, but I don't know one of her songs. Not one. If you guys were to offer me $1 billion right now, I couldn't name one. I mean, I would Google it, you know what I mean? But I don't know it. Anyways, I have to say this. Okay, Mariah Carey dressed up as Jessica Rabbit. Now, this goes back to my same thing about Kim Kardashian. I feel like a lot of the girls always want to look like extra cutesy. Do you know what I mean? But do you guys remember when Heidi Klum dressed up as Jessica Rabbit and she had like the full prosthetic face? I was gagged. I was like, oh, that's Halloween right there. That is it. That's it for the win. And I have to say, like, don't get me wrong. Mariah Carey looks beautiful. She's a gorgeous woman. And I think that she does look great. But I don't know. Like, I feel like when you're going to dress up as a character, I'm not saying to wear prosthetics like Heidi Klum. Like, that's a lot. And I think it took her like 6 hours or like, I don't know how long it took her to get into the prosthetics. I watched the video about it and she did say, but maybe it was like 8 hours to get into makeup. That's a lot. I'm not saying that. But I do feel like with Mariah Carey, I feel like she could have like amped it up a little bit more. On top of that too, like I feel like her eyeshadow and stuff, I don't know, it looks like something that she could wear on an everyday basis, and I'm like, girl, you're dressed up as Jessica Rabbit, like make it drag, like make it more, you know? But I guess, I don't know, maybe I just have a different perception of Halloween and I want to see things over the top because as you guys know, I'm clearly gay as hell and I just love to see like a drag queen's version of Halloween. I just feel like they just really give it their all, and I just feel like a lot of celebrities are like, I want to look pretty, I want to look cute, I want to look sexy, and I'm like, come on, make it fun, you know? But anyways, overall, I feel like it's cute. It just could have been a little bit more, you know what I mean? Moving on here. Oh my gosh, I'm scrolling through Entertainment Weekly and I'm like, y'all, some of these people I don't really know. Like, to be honest with you guys, Jerry O'Connell, I don't know who Jerry O'Connell is, but he dressed up as Post Malone. I think that this is really cute. This is really spot on, and I feel like, I don't know, it looks really cute with like the tattoos and everything that he's wearing. I saw Post Malone in August and I have to say, I love Post Malone. Literally, I'm obsessed with him so much. I saw his concert at this random place. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. I want to say it was, y'all, I forget where, no, it's not Santa Barbara. Y'all, I don't know why, for some reason, I cannot for the life of me. San Bernardino. Whew, I have to tell you guys, if you guys ever go to the Glen Helen Amphitheater, good luck to you. Good luck to you. It took us 2.5 hours to get out of that parking lot after. I was so miserable. I literally almost got into a fight with the person. It was absolutely insane. But I have to say, the concert, honestly, I was obsessed with Post Malone. Love him. I want to like follow him around the world and see all of his shows because I just love him so much. He's very engaging with the audience and he's just such a sweetheart. I have to get your guys' opinion while we're speaking about concerts really fast. Like, how do you guys feel about people who are like screaming along to the songs? Because I have to say, I have seen before online people at like Billie Eilish's concert that were like screaming along to the song and people are like, oh my God, shut up. I'm like, damn, I kind of agreed with those people of like, okay, you're obnoxious. And then while I was at Post Malone, I knew every single song on his set list and every single song literally resonates with me. I love his music so much. And I found myself screaming. Like, I was watching back my videos that I was recording and I was like, damn, I'm annoying. Like, I am so annoying. And then I didn't even realize it, obviously, because I was like, y'all, I bought my brother a ticket to drive out there to go with me and my friend. And me and my friend got so tore up. I was like, we need a DD. We're going to get tipsy. And then looking back on the videos, I was like, oh my God, I'm one of those annoying people. So in that moment, I realized I felt bad for judging that person who was screaming because when a song resonates with you and you're tipsy too on top of that, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, you don't realize that you're like literally screaming. So what do you guys feel about that? Do you guys get annoyed by that? I feel like if it's like over the top, do you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm a really self-aware person. Like, I'm always looking around. Nobody was really staring at us. And we did actually have like this whole end row to ourselves. Like, y'all, there was only 3 of us, but then there was like, I want to say 4 seats empty next to us. So we did have kind of like our own little space. But I was looking back on it and I was like, oh, I have a whole new insight of like how that person, there was this guy who like went viral on TikTok for like screaming at a Billie Eilish concert and everyone was like bashing him in the comments. And I was like, damn, that is low-key annoying. But then now I realized, oh, I'm the annoying person too. So that now I like relate with it. Let me know how you feel about that because I'm really curious. Oh, I did want to talk about too, Paris Hilton did dress up as Britney Spears. This is another one right here that I feel like, okay, it's a little bit cutesy, whatever. But I do think that it is kind of iconic that she did dress up as Britney Spears because, as you guys know, they're friends, you know? And I just felt like that was really cute and that was her way of paying homage to her. But I have been seeing recently on TikTok that a lot of people are calling Paris Hilton a mean girl. I guess because of her feud with Lindsay Lohan, there was this viral clip going around. Y'all, this had like millions of views, but it was from a long time ago, I think, where she was on the Andy Cohen after show. I forget the name of his like late night show. And then she just didn't have anything nice to say about Lindsay Lohan, and everyone was calling her a mean girl. But then I was just kind of like, if that's the only situation right there where you're calling her a mean girl, I don't know. Like, is that really validated? Because let's just keep it real. Like, what if she has serious problems with Lindsay Lohan? What if Lindsay Lohan really did her wrong as a person and she has these, like, you know, resentful feelings towards her? Do you know what I mean? I don't know, y'all. Every single time that I see something, I'm like, I want to know both sides of the story. I just feel like I have to see both sides of the story before forming an opinion, especially with a feud like Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton. And I have to say, when their feud happened, I want to say I was like 16 or 17, so I don't even remember what it was. So I'm like, what if Lindsay Lohan's the one that did something wrong, you know? Anyways, let's go ahead and move on down the list. Let's go ahead and talk about the queen of Halloween, Heidi Klum. She did dress up as a peacock. Okay, I think this was really cool and I think this was really nice, but I do have to say, out of all of her Halloween costumes, this one probably was like, you know, kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say a letdown because it definitely wasn't a letdown. I do think it was really cool to have all the background, how do you call them? Are they like acrobats or like the background actors? I don't know what you want to call them, but to be a part of her costume, I do think that was really cool. But looking at like when she dressed up like that big old worm, or when she dressed up as Jessica Rabbit, like, do you know what I mean? This one was kind of, it was a little lackluster compared to what she has done before, especially because she is known as the queen of Halloween. But y'all, I'm looking at this picture right here and I'm like, wait, because I'm scrolling through the list and it has Justin Bieber dressed up as a diver and I'm like, I'm not getting it. I don't get it at all. This to me, I don't know. I feel like Justin Bieber, I feel like, I kind of feel bad for him. I feel like he's like the male version of Britney in the aspect of, I feel like fame like really was not on his side. Do you know what I mean? I feel like fame did him wrong and I don't know. I'm just like, what? Oh, anyways, let's go ahead and move on to Lizzo. She dressed up as Tina Turner. Also, we haven't talked about Lizzo in a hot minute, y'all. Like, what's going on with that? How are we feeling about that? Is she like, was she ever like vindicated? Did anything ever come out? Because I'm like, this has been radio silent for a while. The girls came forward and then they never, I don't know, nothing ever happened after that. But her dress up as Tina Turner, I feel like that is really cute and I feel like that's paying, you know, homage. Also, oh duh, I forgot to mention too, because it wasn't in order. I'm literally scrolling through the website as we speak. As you guys know, I'm really unorganized. Paris Hilton also did dress up as Mushroom Katy Perry. I do think this one was more cute. Like, I feel like there was more, you know, to this look, and I actually really liked it too. Oh, by the way, Christina Aguilera dressed up as Cher. I think that was really cool. Do you know what's really crazy? I don't like musicals whatsoever. I don't know why, for some reason, like, musicals get on my nerves, but I really loved the one that Christina Aguilera and Cher were in. What was it called? Like Burlesque. I love that one. Y'all, there's this recording of me. One time I was so tipsy at my aunt's house and like, I don't know why, for some reason I thought I was Cher and I was like, welcome to Burlesque. And I was giving it my all. Like, I was giving it my all. I was like, you need to delete that video. I was like, I will pay you to delete that video. Maybe one day I'll just probably post it just for the fun of it. Oh, Keke Palmer. Okay, y'all, there's so many to talk about. I feel like this video is going to be like 5 hours long because there's so many to talk about. Keke Palmer dressed up as the Bride of Frankenstein. I think this is really cute. And then she has her baby in there too. I think this is really, really cute and I really do like it. I love the hair. I want to say too, oh my gosh, I went to a Khalid concert at Yamava Casino like last month or maybe like 2 months ago. Yeah, I guess it was like 2 months ago by now. Y'all, I saw Keke Palmer there and I was like literally there with my phone, like all taking pictures because she was sitting she was not one row directly behind me, but like one row catty corner behind me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm all taking pictures of her. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, Khalid like even shouted her out in the middle of it. And I was like, oh, cool. By the way, y'all, I have to say, like, I do like Khalid's music. Like, there's like maybe 5 or 6 songs that I like. I highly recommend going to his concert. He was so engaging, so sweet. He literally, like, somebody like brought a sign to the show. He literally stopped in the middle of him singing and read the sign out, shouted this girl out for her birthday. And he was like engaging with everybody. He was super, super nice. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I really, really like him. Anyways, that is it for the list right there. Of course, there is a whole lot more. I'm sure I probably skipped some big people, but I was scrolling through the E! Entertainment website because I was like, oh, this will be a little fun video. Anyways, that wraps it up for this week's episode. Next week, I am going to have my friend Jelly on here because I kind of want to introduce her to the whole like filming thing. And I do want her to like, she's never been on camera before. She's like, oh my gosh, like I think it'll be really fun to like podcast. So I'm going to have her on this like channel, this episode, everything. Not this episode, obviously, but you guys know what I mean. Oh my gosh, this podcast, this mini podcast, whatever it is. I feel stupid sometimes even calling it a podcast because I'm like, this is not like a real podcast. I'm literally just sitting here and I don't even have like, I don't have like one of those like little cool mic things, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm gonna have her on here to way she can kind of like get her feet wet to see how she likes it. It's so funny. Last night before we went out, we were having like a super deep conversation just talking about the craziness of our life, and we both looked at each other and we were like, okay, this would have been a really good podcast. I feel like this would have been so relatable because we were talking about our crazy exes, and just it's so crazy to think like the things that we dealt with and been through. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. So I'm like, maybe we'll tell those stories again. But I don't know, you guys will see her on next week's episode. If she doesn't flake on me, if she doesn't get scared, we'll see, obviously. Also, by the way, too, if you guys like these weekly episodes, please give it a big thumbs up. That really does help me out, and let me know how you guys like it. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.